If it ain't white, it ain't right, because Juneteenth is only roughly 2 weeks away. The day in 1865 when enslaved people in Texas were finally told 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation that they were free. And right now, as we count down to that day, the federal government of the United States of this country of America is systematically removing the history of Black enslavement from public spaces, not cutting the budget, not trimming the display, removing, banning, and erasing. And we need to talk about it.
Okay.
We really need to talk about it, because if you guys recall Independence Hall in Philadelphia, one of the most visited historical sites in this country, they had a panel, an educational display about the enslaved people who built, maintained, and served in the very building where the Declaration of Independence was signed. That panel is now gone, ladies and gentlemen. It's been removed. And the people who built freedom for others while having none of their own, our story has been taken off the wall. Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, I've been there, the site of John Brown's 1859 raid, one of the most significant anti-slavery actions in American history. Information about John Brown, censored, it was sanitized. The man who took up arms against slavery because he believed that Black lives actually mattered. His story is being scrubbed from a national park that bears the memory of his own action.
No, he's great. I think he's doing a great job.
The Arlington House, the historic home of Robert E. Lee, which was built and operated using enslaved labor. They had educational booklets specifically about the enslaved people who worked that property, their names, their stories, their labor. That booklet has been banned. Now, if you guys are familiar with certain things in this country that they are removing, so no one will be able to tell the story, we have to ensure that we teach not only ourselves, but our children as well.
Oh, okay.
When I look at the long list, and this is just a part of it, some of the things that we already mentioned, the educational panels that the President of the House removed, the National Park Service was ordered to alter or remove signs and images and displays related to slavery at sites like Harpers Ferry and Fort Pulaski. Booklets detailing the identities and labor of the enslaved people who built and maintained the Robert E. Lee estate have been targeted for removal. The DIA office, the Defense Intelligence Agency, paused all workplace activities and observance for 11 cultural periods. This includes Juneteenth, Black History Month, and Martin Luther King Jr., complying with directives to halt federal DEI operations. As I stated before, if it ain't white, it ain't right, because this is what makes America America, is the celebration of all people. Now, some people will say, well, we don't have any holidays yet. You have President's Day. You have all these national holidays that you would like to believe that each group celebrates. Yeah, 4th of July, Independence Day, we all celebrate them, but there's no recognition for any other group when it comes to those national holidays, because they're only celebrating white people and the freedom of white people.
Hypocrisy, my friend.
Now, again, I don't want people to think that I'm attacking white people, because I am not. I'm just pointing out a very crucial moment and crucial moments in history, because we have to understand this. During the independence of America, Black people in this country were still enslaved. So that's one thing we truly have to understand, because Frederick Douglass did a speech. And if I can paraphrase correctly, if I can recall correctly, that speech was named, "What is 4th of July to a Slave?" See, these are some of the things that we truly have to remember and that we truly have to understand. Believe me, and none of the things that I just showed you, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. As I told you, the last one that you see highlighted there, they're just wiping away any observances, any celebration that celebrates any other group that's outside of white. This is what we have to look at. And some people say, well, you know, the other holidays, Black Logic, the other holidays are national holidays. They're celebrating the presidents. They're celebrating the independence of America, which, again, we were still going through slavery during that time, our ancestors, no less. We're celebrating holidays that everybody celebrate. And again, I would like to ask what Frederick Douglass asks. What is the 4th of July to a slave? If you're still shackled and chained and in bondage, what does that mean to you? Not stating that we don't celebrate it today, because we do, but I want you to think about those times that we were still enslaved. But you know what day it is now? You know what day was being promoted, ladies and gentlemen, as a special recognition day by the National Park Service? June 14th, Flag Day. We're celebrating the flag, not people. We're celebrating the flag because, again, just to kind of give you context, national parks cancel free admission on MLK Day and Juneteenth, as if the only people who are going to national parks are Black people. That's funny altogether. I don't know if too many Black people don't go outside of their suburban or city or urban area to a park. A lot of these national parks, there were all people celebrating or at least benefiting from these free days. Because again, these parks are very large. They usually cost you a bit of money, anywhere from $15 to $30, I believe. But nevertheless, these were free, and people were actually going to these parks on these days because it was free. Okay, you can take your whole family, have a great time. I digress, but now they're celebrating Flag Day. Yeah, let's celebrate flags because of what it represents, though. Good old red, white, and blue, which is just a different amalgamation, a different transformation, a different alteration of the British flag. Because again, we're just one of the colonies of Great Britain. We kind of separated from that. Again, we fought against the people who helped colonize America initially with the 13 colonies. Again, that's a whole nother history.
Holy shit, there's a lot of news.
But which also happens June 14th, Flag Day, which also happens to be President Trump's birthday. Well, look at that. They replaced Juneteenth with Trump's birthday. Let me say this one more time for the people, because I know the racism, the hatred, the things that people are going to say in the comment section. Let me just say it one more time. They replaced Juneteenth, the celebration of the backbone of America, those who built the foundation of America.
A landing page in 48 hours. A business site built right. An e-commerce store ready to take orders. Or a native iOS and Android app. Single code base, one studio. Lova builds it and keeps it running.
Those group of people who are hated the most because of the colonization of the mind of different races, whether it be Hispanic, Asian, or otherwise, right? They have been colonized to a point where they look at Black as less than and our life as less than. So again, you guys know who I'm talking about. I'm not stating all Asian. I'm not stating all Hispanics. I'm not stating all white. Okay. But what I'm stating is people's minds have been colonized to think of Black people as low IQ, less than, a weight on society, a drag on society, and that we need to be eradicated and erased and eliminated.
Hell no.
These are not my words. These are the words of the racist people who are going to watch this video and say, you're right. And not all of them talk like that. I'm just making a sort of a pun with that. They replaced Juneteenth, the commemoration of Black freedom, with the president's birthday at national parks, funding by other than all of our tax dollars. Now, how does that make you feel? Some of you like, yeah, President Trump, yeah, DEI is no longer, no celebrating other people other than the people who colonized the country. I get it. But again, they're just cutting DEI programs or what they deem or label or determine what is DEI and what is not DEI. Have you noticed something, ladies and gentlemen? They continue to paint this broad picture that DEI is everything except white. You don't have to apologize for being white anymore. I don't know when white people did. Maybe they're talking about liberals. Because there was a moment in time where liberals would get on camera, they would get on social media, and they would literally apologize, which meant nothing. It doesn't change the conditions of Black folk. So yeah, you can apologize. You don't have to apologize. The symbolism means absolutely nothing. Tangibles is the one thing that will change the lives of Black Americans. If you want to decrease violence, well, right now, the unemployment for Black Americans is the highest it's ever been. Okay, it is one of the highest it's ever been in history at 7%. If you want to decrease YNs from destruction, but why would I care if I'm a white guy? There's really no Black people that live in my neighborhood. And the ones that live in my neighborhood are not these so-called destructive, demonic, violent people that I see on TV when they show Baltimore, Chicago, DC, parts of California, and so on and so forth, right? It really doesn't feed into the narrative, doesn't feed into the stereotypical nature of people, how they paint this broad picture, because they want these people to be locked up, killed, eradicated, eliminated, right, and deleted. But nevertheless, you rarely see these people because you don't operate, you don't live, you don't go to the same stores. The only time you may encounter them is probably at a restaurant. Okay, a restaurant is probably popular. They probably save their money. You're going to this restaurant, you don't even want to see them then. It's not that deep. This is memory warfare right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a deliberate attempt to alter what future generations understand about the foundation of this country. Because here's the truth. You cannot have a real conversation about reparations if people don't know what was done. You see, if we erase everything that is attributing to these reparations talk, every sign, every symbol, every statue, every place, every remnants, if we just delete it, if we change the words in the textbooks to laborer, not slave, this is not about right now. This ain't about Generation X. This is not about the millennials. This is not about Generation Y or Generation Z. It's about the generations after.
Goddamn right.
Because if you start to erase history the way they doing the burnings of books, you ever seen Fahrenheit or read the book Fahrenheit 451, eventually people will start to forget. People will start not even recall, except for those who have those books. And then it will be illegal to have those books, to teach those books, to show those books. That is what we're leading to. We're leading right into Nazi Germany, in my opinion. The exact same things that are in these books, like Fahrenheit 451, is happening today. George Orwell, 1987. I may be off a little bit when it comes to the year. It's happening right now. See, you cannot have a real conversation about systematic inequality if people don't understand the system that built it. You cannot demand accountability for the present if you erase the evidence of the past. What we need to understand is memory is power. History is power. And they know that. Oh, yeah. They know that. That's why the slavery panels come down. That's why John Brown gets censored. That's why they want Juneteenth to feel like just another day off. Or better yet, they want to replace it by something that has nothing to do with Black freedom at all. And this isn't by accident. This is a strategy. It goes on and on and on, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't show you the receipts here. Pentagon intelligence arm pausing, MLK, Holocaust remembrance, and other observation. Jews and Blacks. Did they pause Hispanic Heritage Month? Did they pause Asian experiment? I'm just asking because I don't see it in the article. I'm not saying that they didn't, right? But it says here that the Pentagon's intelligence arm has issued a memo pausing any activities related to MLK Day, Juneteenth, Black History Month, LGBTQ+, Pride Month, and Holocaust Remembrance Day, among other special observances, according to the defense official who confirmed the authenticity of the memo. Okay? Pentagon AC paused celebrations. I'm giving different stories, different accounts here. Here are some federal holidays that we all celebrate and love. Like, we're going to keep Valentine's Day, which it's a day of love. And if you ever read the history about Valentine's Day, you will know that this is a somewhat demonic, evil holiday. But again, you have to do your research on that one. Memorial Day, Father's Day, Halloween.
Here we go again.
Inauguration, because we still recognize Halloween, do we not? It may not be a date off, but Father's Day, Mother's Day, Memorial Day, Inauguration Day. So again, if we're going to alleviate, and we're going to pause, and we're going to stop all of these other celebrations of holidays, then I say, let's not celebrate anything then, right? Yes, I am a veteran. So let's celebrate Memorial Day. I am a veteran. Let's celebrate Veterans Day. And for people who were free, the descendants of those people who were doing free on 4th of July, maybe you like to celebrate that. Now celebrate today because most of us just cook out, have a couple of beers, shoot some fireworks, and that's our celebration. But nevertheless, I'm just showing you how Black History Month, Women History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, Pride Month, and Native American Heritage Month, among others. So all these other, again, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, Now, granted, not that DEI really did anything for Black folk, because some people like to believe that. And don't forget, Black History Month, all of these celebrations were before the terms affirmative action and DEI even occurred. They just kind of labeled this. But this was for America, because as we say, it's a melting pot of all these different people. And we all got here by some form or another, for everyone to feel included in the American dream of what being American is. Now we're stripping the very thing that makes America. Let me ask you guys a question. Because maybe you guys think I'm playing the victim, which I'm not. I just like to tell the truth here. Would America be America without Black music? All of it. Jazz, country, rap, hip hop. I mean, all of it. R&B, Zydeco. I mean, you name all the music that Black people have created in this country, Black Americans. Would America be America without that? Think about some of the songs you hear at baseball games, football games, basketball games, at events and functions. This totally wiped that music away. Would America still be America? Would America be America with some of the inventions that Black Americans have made, the ingenuity, okay, all the things that we have created? And again, I've done many videos here on Black Logic about all the inventions. And it wasn't just what people like to add to, oh, these were just really small inventions. No, we had some really huge inventions. And one I've been promoting for the past, I guess, year, because it's the most recent one, very large one, is the AWG, the atmospheric water generation that was created by Moses West. He's the one who went up there with his machine and was giving Flint, Michigan residents clean drinking water because they had lead in their drinking water. They had actual poison in their drinking water. But he created that machine. And amongst all these other inventions and advancements in technology, you think Hidden Figures was just a movie about 3 Black women who was great with math? No, they created the very algorithms to push the spaceships to reach the moon. But I digress. Again, if we're just let's celebrate the troops. Let's celebrate the troops. And that's it. If they want to take away all the holidays, and take away all of them. But at the end of the day, it's all symbolism anyway. It really doesn't do anything, does it not? We're one of the largest colonial European powers in the world, but yet we have the least holidays in our country. You go to Europe, you go to Britain, they have holidays, they have tea time, they have nap time, they have all sorts of things. They're not working themselves to death, but Americans are. We always promoting working hard.
I work very hard.
Where has that gotten us? Oh, straight up for Moose, we're still at a standstill, so to speak, or extended the peace agreement, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, gas prices are high. Grocery prices are high. Black unemployment is high. Now, here's my thing. As we was talking about this earlier, we understand that unemployment, a rise in unemployment in any demographic, let alone in Black America, what do you think is going to happen? And again, this may be a ploy to lock up more Black people, because we understand, we have the statistics. It doesn't matter what race it is, right? It doesn't matter what race it is. But when unemployment rises, so does crime, because people are desperate. Right. And because, as some people will say, oh, we moved into a meritocracy. No, we have not. America has always been, even to other white people, right? If you was a poor white family and there were affluent other white families that lived in suburban, you lived in the trailer park, you lived in the mountains, you lived somewhere that was cheap to live. Nepotism always ruled in white colonial countries like America. So again, it's going to hurt us the most, but it's going to hurt white, Hispanics, and Asians, but just not as much. So we have to document everything, because we have to do something about it, right? We have to document every removal, every ban, every erase display. We screenshot it, we archive it, we share it. If they want to erase our history, we become the archive. We show up for Juneteenth, not just this year, not just this year, but every year. We go to the cookouts. We celebrate the freedom of our people. We go to community events. And yes, education. We need to teach our children, teach our neighbors if they're willing to listen. If the government won't do it, then we'll do it. We vote like our history depends on it because it does. It literally does. The people removing these panels were appointed. The policies erasing this history were signed by people who were elected and or confirmed. You're going to hear me say this every week. Local elections, state elections, federal election, they all matter, every single one of them. And if you're watching this and you're not registered, and the link is in the description. It takes 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Go to ourvoicevote.org. Free for all 50 states. You need to go and actually start applying mouth to power. They cannot erase what we carry in us. They can take down a panel at Independence Hall, but they cannot take Harriet Tubman out of our hearts. They can ban a booklet at Arlington House, but they cannot ban the names your grandmother passed down to you. We remember, we teach, we vote, we fight. And not in the physical form, because I know some of you be radicalized by some words I state, but nevertheless. Juneteenth is 20-something days or just a couple of weeks from now, June 19th. They want you to forget, which is exactly why we're going to celebrate it louder, teach it deeper, and honor it harder than we ever had before. We're not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. But nevertheless, drop your comments below. And when Juneteenth happens and occurs, enjoy yourself and have a great time. And each one teach one and let everyone hear you.